All right, here's a classic from the 2014 Math 7 SOL test. This is question number 5, I believe. You will see this question guaranteed, not this exact one, but something like this guaranteed on your SOL, so be prepared. And you will not be allowed to use your calculator for this. So you must be able to take these values and convert them so you can compare them. Because this question is asking us to write these numbers from least to greatest. And although there are many different ways to do this, my suggestion is for you to turn each of these values into a decimal. They're all the same. We have 0.25 in every single answer. We have 17% in every single answer, and we have the fraction 2/9 in every single answer. But we need to convert them all to decimals so we can properly compare them. I'll go ahead and take care of 0.25. 0.25 written as a decimal is, you guessed it, 0.25. That was really easy. Let's now look at 17%. We're going to take 17% and we're going to convert that into a decimal. Very easy to do. You can either divide by 100 using long division. I don't recommend doing that. Or you can take the decimal place in this number and move it 2 places to the left. Now, if you don't see a decimal, then you simply add a decimal at the end of the number. And again, it gets moved 2 places, 1, 2, right to there, 2 places to the left, turning 17% into 0.17. It is always 2 jumps. If you're turning it from decimal to a percent, it's 2 jumps back to the right. But we went from a percent to a decimal, so we must move it 2 places to the left. And I'm going to put a 0 in the ones place just so that it matches our first decimal. All right, our last term we need to turn into a decimal, 2/9. And you know what? Yeah, 2/9, the easiest way to do this one is simple long division. So I'm going to go ahead and take my denominator and put that in the divisor's position. I'm going to take my numerator and put it in the dividend position, and I'm going to do some long division. Now immediately I have an issue because 9 does not go into 2. So I'm going to need to change my dividend a little bit. Instead of just 2, I'm going to go ahead and put 2.000, I don't know how many zeros I'll need. I haven't changed the dividend, I just rewrote it so that I can actually do the long division. So now, rather than being able to divide 9 into 2, which it doesn't go, so I'm just going to put a 0 up here, and then put my decimal up next to it, I'm looking at how many times 9 goes into 20. 9 does go into 20. It goes into 20 2 times, because 2 times 9 is 18. And when I subtract 20 from 18, that gives me a 2. And I bring down my next value, and it gives me a 20. And I know that 9 goes into 20 2 times because I knew that from the first time. So 9 times 2, again, gives me 18. And I subtract, and I get a 2. And I bring down my next 0, I get a 20 again. I think you can see a pattern that's forming here. 9 goes into 20 2 times, and I think our answer for the fraction 2/9 is 0.222, on and on and on forever. So I have these turned into decimals. Now let's go ahead and compare them. I'm going to go ahead and write them on top of one another. I have 0.25. I have 0.17, and I have 0.222222, so on and so forth. Okay, the least to greatest, so I'm looking for the smallest of this bunch, and I compare by working my way left to right with the ones position, and they are all zeros. So right now they're all equal. Then as I go to the other side of the decimal, I look at the tenths position, and I see that one of them is a 1 and the others are 2. And clearly 1 is smaller than 2, so this is going to be my least value, or I believe it was 17%. And I can look at my possible answers, and I notice that A and B do not start out with 17%. So I can go ahead and cross those two right off my list and look at just answers C and D. To find the next smallest value, I compare 0.22 to 0.25. Both of them have a 2 in the tenths place. So now I work my way to the hundredths place, and I notice in the hundredths place in this value there is a 2, while there is a 5 here. 2 clearly is smaller than 5, so 0.22, or I believe that was the fraction 2 over 9, is smaller than 0.25. So my second value in my order should be the fraction 2/9, which is answer D. Now, if you're having issues with a problem like this, my guess is you're struggling or you're weak in your long division, or you're not comparing, taking the time to write a list as I've done and comparing these values properly, making sure you line up the place values and you simply work your way from left to right across the problem, looking at each place. Zeros for the ones, they're all the same so far. 2, a 1, and a 2, we have a difference, so now we've determined something different about this, and paying attention to, I'm looking for least to greatest. These are the kinds of things that will get you to the correct answer if you focus. All right, good luck, everybody. Thanks for watching.